So very, very exciting. Thank you so much for coming on board and playing with us today. So to all of you who have been tapping in or watching the replays, this is the book Intuitive Seeing Her Truth. And we've got 17 fantastic authors who've all got so many different background experiences that have led them to become seekers and to want to do their life differently. And we've had trauma, we've had relationship breakdowns, we've had just that disconnect with themselves, as well as some have had mental health and onwards and upwards. And each one of us have come together to bring this book to life, which will be coming out on the 14th of June. Very excited. And what we're doing now is we're all just sharing our stories and getting to know each other. So today I'm going to introduce you to the beautiful OptiMystic Xzavia. I love that. And now Xzavia is a psychic medium. She is a spiritual mentor and an intuitive coach. And so we're just going to delve into what all of that means, as well as to have a chat to Xzavia about her chapter. So welcome.
Thanks. Hi. Lovely to be here. Thanks for holding this space, and doing these interviews are so fun. I've been loving watching them and getting to know everybody, and really appreciate you doing this. Thank you.
Yeah, beautiful. So now tell me, so a psychic medium and a spiritual mentor. Now I know that there is a story behind this. But just tell us first, what is a psychic medium?
Oh yeah, so because people get that confused actually, which is really good that you asked that question, because okay, so anyone can become a psychic if you want to, use your intuition or being a psychic, but not every psychic is a medium, but every medium is also a psychic. So a medium is somebody who sees people in spirit, or connects with them, whether it's in their mind or they see it with their eyes, people that are crossed over, our loved ones that have gone home. And so a psychic is somebody who might, rather than seeing spirits, they might connect with your higher self, your guides, spirit guides, rather than connecting you with your loved ones. It's just different. So, and help you with your spiritual growth and all that kind of thing. So that's what a psychic medium is. So I do both, which is cool.
Yeah, beautiful. And you're also a spiritual mentor. So what does that look like?
That's like the label I gave, because I mentor people, whoever finds me or resonates with me, to be able to do what I do. So helping you with your spiritual growth, learning to become a psychic, tuning in, learning about the chakras and how to help yourself, whether you want to do it for yourself or as a job. So I teach people everything I know. So I call it a spiritual medium, because I'm spiritual mentor. Yeah. So that we understand that I'm, instead of like a business mentor would help with business, I do help with business, but in a spiritual sense for your psychic business.
I love it. And because that's never occurred to me. I thought this was kind of something that you are born with. So is this something that you can develop?
For sure. Exactly. People get that misconception, because sometimes a psychic will introduce themselves and they'll say something like, I'm a natural born psychic. So that term, I think, which I understand where they're coming from, not everybody realizes that they have those gifts at a young age. And so anybody can do this. You're tapping into your own past lives. So that's another thing that I focus on, and tuning into things that you might have done before, or you actually know on some other level that you didn't realize that you could do. But it's not everybody's path. They're not all supposed to be psychics walking around, because if that was everybody's job, the planet wouldn't function. We all have different roles.
Yeah.
Not everyone needs to do that in this life and become a psychic. There's just different roles for everybody. So yeah, you can learn it and develop it later, like riding a bike. It's just, you get what you're ready for. So I learned in, say, 8 years, more than some people learn all their life if they were doing this since they were children, because I was ready, and I channel things as I'm working, not just from doing courses. Just extra stuff comes up.
Yeah, beautiful. And so what is the difference for you with a clairvoyant and a psychic medium?
So clairvoyant, there's lots of clairs. There's clairvoyance, claircognizance, clairsentience. There's all different ones, but everyone just hears usually of clairvoyance, which is the inner, I'm pretty sure that's inner seeing, like thing in your head. So anyone can do that. If you close your eyes and just imagine a ball bouncing, you can say the color is red and you see that happening in your head. that's clairvoyance. It's not just your imagination. When it's doing its own thing, that's you channeling clairvoyance and seeing it in your head. But if it's you're controlling it, that's you imagining it and making it do something. That's a way of practicing, actually. So clairvoyance is one style. I'm strongest in clairvoyance and then claircognizance, which is just inner knowing, when you just know things. People used to ask me questions when I was young, and I used to just know the answer, and it wouldn't make sense because my family would say, oh, where did you read that? Before phones, before we could Google answers to anything. Back in the old days, showing my age. So yeah, they're like, I didn't read that, I just know. And then be like, well, you can't just say things like that if you didn't learn it from somewhere. I'm like, I don't know. So I used to get in like arguments with my parents because I didn't understand where I got this information from. So that's an example of not realizing that I had that skill from a young age. Yeah.
Absolutely. No, it's fascinating for me because obviously I've interviewed Vicky Rayner and so so when she was talking about it, and it's just so simple, you know, when she was talking about clairvoyance, the clear seeing, and again, so a lot of people, you know, people fit into all different categories, but I know that there are that section of people who just think that it's woo woo, and it's just like, it's the spirits and the angels and things like that. And the more that I get to know about it, the more I'm finding it to be quite practical.
It's so practical, and it's science-based, which is funny. Because I am the more woo-woo, I don't have the words, the sciencey words to explain it. But then I hear other people explaining it from facts and tests and studies, and it makes so much sense in that aspect as well. That's just not how I describe it. But that's why I also learned coaching. I call myself an intuitive coach, because I'm guided. I kind of combine the spiritual, you know, so, you know, as a coach, that coaching, you're helping them with figuring out the steps and you ask the right questions for them to figure out the answer. Whereas mentoring, we're helping give them the answers, right? The coaching is a different tool because it really helps them go, oh my God, that makes so much more sense because they figured it out themselves. We're just guiding them. Intuitively, I can help with the right questions in another way by their higher self telling me exactly what kind of questions to ask. So I'm kind of like cheating a little bit. It's not just the knowledge of the coaching expertise. I'm tapping into their higher self who's telling me what to ask them.
I love that.
I call myself an intuitive coach.
I love that. And again, when it comes to coaching, it is whatever is going to get them to where they want to be. We use all the tools in our toolkit to help just kind of crack them open a little bit to allow the light to come and shine in.
Combine the modalities, whatever, and people go to where they're guided, depending on the kind of coach or psychic or hypnotherapist or psychologist, whatever you need. None of it's wrong. It's just what you might need in your part of the journey and how you need to receive the information and the help to get you to where you need to be. So there's no competition.
Absolutely. And it's whoever you resonate with.
Could be their bedside manner, the way they talk, the way they present themselves is important to you too. So you go to where you're guided.
Absolutely. And again, just tapping back into what you're saying about you know, clairvoyance and being a psychic is science-based. What's absolutely lovely is when speaking to what's backed up by science, but it's with Anna Peters. When I was interviewing her, she's, you know, another of our authors, and she is a scientist. She's a medical researcher who then has gone through her journey and has then tapped into the spiritual side. So
she works with codes.
Absolutely. So it's just fascinating how we all different ways and actually come along our journey to get to where we are today and to join together to write this amazing book. So now your chapter is Love is an Inside Job, How My Intuition Developed Through My Not So Happy Marriage. So tell me, it's a fascinating story. Tell us all about your journey to So
I think I chose to write the chapter because I wanted to get some stuff out about my journey, because I figured it would help intuitively. I thought this is going to help some people recognize some maybe red flags in their own relationships, because one of the quotes from my book is I didn't think not being happy was a good enough reason to say goodbye. I didn't have the courage because I'd been worn down, made to feel very tiny in my marriage over the years. And I'm not even sure if he even recognized what he was doing and saying and how those things affected me. He might have, you know, some people say that's just me being nice and giving him a free pass. It's not. I'm not sure he even realized. So it's like a level of narcissism. And I know there's much more extremes. I didn't have an physically abusive relationship, and some women share stories like that are just harrowing, and they're so amazing from getting out of it. What I want to teach with mine is through my lessons is how I found love within myself, because I was searching outside of myself. Because when you're sort of beaten down emotionally over such a long time to make to feel really small, you can, you know, you get molded into being exactly what they want, and you don't get a chance to find yourself. But I guess I was a little bit defiant. My intuition kicked in, and I still did things for me, and I went against what he wanted and found myself. And so this is my journey, and spirituality helped me with that, because I started joining classes, and then I did a course, and I learned how to become a psychic, and learning meditation and things helped me discover that I could be good in my own company and didn't need him, which helped me get the strength to kind of be myself more and survive like this marriage. And I grew. So I grew out of him. How many times does that happen in relationships? You hear about that one person grows and the other one doesn't, which is unfortunate. And not everybody has to grow. You can't force somebody to change. And I learned that too, which comes out in my chapter, that you can't make someone change. It's up to them. So, and then it's okay if you outgrow somebody and move away from them. That's their journey, that's yours.
Absolutely. And you started, because you got into this relationship, you're in this relationship for 20 years, weren't you?
Yeah, I was 18 when I met him. And I'm not saying, like, I know some people that have been together since they were 16 or younger, and their relationship is freaking amazing all these years later. So that's got nothing to do with it, I don't believe. But for me, it did, because I didn't know what I wanted yet. I just wanted to be rescued by the knight on shining armor. So I stopped clashing with my dad at home, maybe, and I just couldn't wait to move out, and I just fell in love, and I thought that's what I wanted. And yeah, as I grew and changed, and I learned more about myself and what was important to me, and what my purpose was and what my boundaries were, I just started discovering those things about myself. And then I realized that, unfortunately, my husband, I remember writing a list of 20 things that if I was looking for a partner now in my life, what would I want them to be like? Not about their looks and stuff, just their personality traits and their heart's desire, that kind of thing. And then I wrote this list of about 20 things and realized my husband only ticked off 2 or 3. So I thought, why am I married to somebody who doesn't align with me and my purpose to move forward? So yeah, I wanted to help work on him and see if he could grow into this person. So I don't want to give too much away from my chapter, so you'll have to have a read, because it goes way into more depth about a whole different topics and stuff, and what happened there, about the journey, how I sort of changed and grew, and what came of it at the end.
Yeah, beautiful. And like, how many people listening to this right now would relate to the fact of that your partner is something that you're hoping to mold and change? And I always joke about how your partner is something to do on the weekend, it's a project, something to fix up. Joking people.
I definitely don't feel like that anymore.
Yeah, but it's really interesting, and it's about, I love what you said, you know, love is an inside job, because so many people, the whole focus is on the outside, is on the external. If this person changes, if I get the right job, if I look, etc., everything external, if we fix that, then maybe I'll feel okay.
Yeah, like I'll be happy when I move, or when I'm out of this relationship, or when this happens or that happens, or when I get that body, like something to, you know, when I lose weight, whatever it is. Like, you learn to love yourself now, and you'll attract more reasons to feel that energy. So just bringing it to the present is so important.
Because so many people are like, when I get the car, the body, etc., then I'll feel happy and complete. Why not bring happy and complete into now? Exactly. And then you'll either have the body or not have the body.
Exactly, because you'll attract it all faster anyway. You fake it to create it. Just make it happen, and say the lines, and say as if you have it now, and really believe that you deserve it, you know, that saying, you believe you deserve it, the universe will serve it. Like, just
Absolutely.
brings it all to the present, and everything will manifest so much faster.
Absolutely. And so with that, like, every time I've heard you speak, it's very much about attracting what you want into your life and about manifesting. And it comes forward. It's just beautiful about, again, a number of us ladies have gone through the whole COVID journey, and all the love that was coming from OptiMystic Xzavia towards us. And it's just like, just think healthy thoughts and bring it in.
I'm doing it for myself right now. I'm a bit croaky and I've got a tickle in my throat, but I don't get sick, and if I do, it's really goes really fast. So that's the kind of things I would say to myself, to say, I'm really glad this has healed super fast and I'm healthy and well. And then it never turns into anything else. So I try to teach that. It's really hard to do though sometimes, but if you're in pain or something's really overwhelming you. I talked myself out of fibromyalgia, which is a big deal because people believe that that's not something you can cure. But I had that past tense really bad in my head and my ear, and it used to, the more I said, like, I'd get this sharp pain that would bring me to tears, and I would just say I'm healthy and well, even though it was excruciating. But the times it came and went were fewer and further in between. It came less often, and then for a shorter amount of days, and over years. It is a process. You can't just try this once and expect it to work, and then, oh, it didn't work the first time. You have to stick to things. So over the years it just waned away, and I can't remember the last time I actually got it, so, which is really exciting.
Yeah. And that is such an important thought, because what a lot of people don't realize is that we are manifesting, we're bringing into our lives stuff every single day. So when we're saying, oh, I'm so tired, I had such a bad night's sleep, I'm so tired, which is the lunch cooler talk, that you know, standing around the water cooler talk, that's what we're doing. We're bringing into our life more, I am tired, I don't want debt, more debt.
Yes, I don't want to get sick, accidentally attracting, you know. That's exactly what I say to people. You gave the perfect example. That's exactly how I explain it. So don't talk about what you don't want. Talk about what you do want. We're all wonderful at manifesting. I don't teach people that they're manifest. I teach them how to fine tune it, to find the right words, to be attract what you actually want. So stop gossiping about what you don't want, complaining about what is wrong. Talk about only what is right, and imagine how much your life will change if you completely flip your thoughts and words to the opposite. Surely you can see that your life would change as well. Like full circle.
Because people, what you don't realize is that your unconscious mind does not hear the negative. So when you say, I don't want to be overweight, you're talking to saying, I want to be overweight. I don't want debt. You're actually saying, I want debt. When you tell your children, don't run, don't shout, you're actually telling them to do the exact opposite of what you want them to do. So flip it.
This is tripping me out, how much you're saying exactly what I say. The universe, and it's also science-based, it doesn't hear don't or won't or can't. So yeah, you, instead of correcting it, so say, example, the sick thing, I don't want to get sick. Here, university is I want to get sick. So instead of saying that, you say I'm healthy and well. So just change, it's just a bit of tweaking and training. So there's some hot tips if you can try to incorporate that into your life instead of the word don't. It's a vibration, it's energy, it's proven. If you can radiate out the good vibes and just attract what you actually want, is really good.
Beautiful. And we've got Ben Thompson has jumped on, so he's saying hi. He's saying love it. And Anastasia, who's over in LA, who's also another one of our authors, and she talks all about the narcissistic relationships and is doing this wonderful expose. So she's also on as well.
Amazing.
I finally worked out how to read the chat. I haven't been able to read the chat all week.
And Ben's doing an interview with me on Monday, actually, about the book too. So excited to join in with that. Thank you for tuning in, Ben, sharing the love.
Fantastic. And so when we go through your chapter, what can people expect to walk away with? Is it a pathway they can resonate with your story? Is it a step-by-step at the end of these are some steps to take? What's the feeling that they're going to come out with?
Yeah, I think it's definitely more of a feeling, because even though I'm shiny and I've done all this stuff and I've been held on a pedestal by, say, family and friends and certain things, because they expect, you know, when you're doing well in life and you get put on this pedestal, we still make mistakes. So I made a mistake in that whole process in my marriage, and it made me crash really damn hard. But it's okay, because I forgive myself. I still love myself. We're not all perfect.
Yeah.
So my chapter is for that, for people who sometimes we stuff up and that's okay. So learning through that process as well, and hopefully recognizing some red flags in relationships is really important, so they can help. They might resonate with some of the examples that I give in my chapter, so they can realize, oh my goodness, I didn't realize that's actually a thing that I should maybe be aware of or not allow in my life. And then seeing my spiritual growth over that and learning to trust my intuition was so important, because that was really important in this whole process of my growth, of learning to trust that intuition. So I knew that this wasn't right for me anymore. I needed to move on. Makes big life decisions. So hopefully people resonate with that and learn some tools and self-love and forgiveness, and also compassion for others as well. So without judging, because you might hear some mistakes that other people may have made and you just automatically go into judgment mode without knowing their story. So that's what I hope people will resonate and get from my chapter.
Yeah, 100%. And so we've got Anastasia's saying, we celebrate with you doing all of this. It's fantastic. And so tell me now, Helen has purple hair, and I didn't mention it when I was interviewing her. You've got purple hair. I'm thinking I need to get purple hair because that's the color of the book. So tell me, what is the significance of the hair?
I've had purple hair for a long time. We're different shades of purple. I love it. But purple, like an indigo, dark purple, is the color of your intuition. It's your third eye, funnily enough. So this is my calling card. I've always had purple to help, because I believe color therapy is very important. So when other people see it, it's helping open up their intuition and their third eye. That's why I have it in my hair, often in my clothes. But if I wear too much purple, I look like, what's her name, Plum from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, I was just thinking that.
I don't want to be too purple.
He said that.
So amethyst is a color that intuitive healers will often go to as a favorite color. I'll probably still have the purple rinse when I'm 90 years old in my hair. I'll be doing rocking the purple still. It's just a color that I resonate with, but I wear it actually for others, so for their intuition and third eye, to help open up the minds of other people. So that's why.
Absolutely, that's fantastic. I was gonna join in. So for the launch, I was just gonna put some purple in there for the launch, just to join in. But I'm actually loving it, because it is that whole color therapy. So that it is about helping people to tap into their emotions and as well as opening up the third eye. That's fantastic. So you're learning a lot here, guys. Learning a lot about intuition and clairvoyance and psychic medium. So any last words before we go? What else do you want people to know?
I'm just excited for people to read this book and the amazing journeys, because some of us are some of us have businesses, and we wrote these chapters and they're in line with what we also do on the outside, and some of us just wrote it for our own healing, and some people just did it for hoping to teach somebody else something. So read the chapters and take from it what you need. I'm just really excited to honor the different journeys, because you think of there's just 17 women in this book, but there's so many people out there with their own journeys that they might not have had the opportunity and tools to express in a book themselves. So just learning a bit of compassion and mindfulness, that everyone has their own story and their own journeys. And sometimes when you cross somebody on the street, they have a grumpy look on their face, they might have just had a really bad day, be going through some big stuff. Just sending them compassion and love. Smile at somebody, because they might be the only person who smiled at them that day, because you don't know what people have been through. So
absolutely. I absolutely love that. And see, Intuitive Seeing Her Truth is actually part of a series. There is Intuitive Speaking Her Truth, Intuitive Knowing Her Truth, and then Intuitive Now Seeing Her Truth. And again, these are the stories that people are sharing. And I loved what you said there, because some ladies, it's so brave. Some ladies, it really is. It's just about, do you know what? I just need to own my own story. I'm going to show up to the world, and I'm just literally going to tell on myself.
Yeah.
And you know, and I love that. And it's so brave to actually be vulnerable, because from vulnerability comes a lot of strength.
Yeah.
And to allow yourself to own your past and own your future. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, guys, so don't forget that the book is actually coming out on the 20th. No, it's not. It's coming out on the 14th. I don't know where I was going with that one. It's coming out on the 14th of June. We are going to be having a launch party on the 14th of June. So watch out. Go and if you're friends of any of ours, you can able to join the launch party and come in and see us and celebrate with us. We will let you know when it's all going live. Also, down below, there is a link that if you want to be reminded when the book becomes available, it will be available as an ebook as well as then hard copy. You'll be sent a reminder to get your copy and start finding your own path. And I'm sure that one of these ladies is going to have a pathway that's really going to resonate with you, because I know that all of these stories,
one could be all 17.
Yeah, exactly. Beautiful. So again, thank you so much, Xzavia, for coming on today, and I look forward to catching up with you in our chat rooms as well as at the party.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. Yeah. Oh.
17 authors, 17 paths to the truth. Intuitive, seeing her truth.